Afternoon, everybody. It's Thursday. Hope you're all doing really well today, and I hope you have a wonderful birthday, Markleford. Markleford, who was the champion of the bracket predictor. He got sent his gift card yesterday. I see he ordered himself something. Very happy about that. Real brief note to Deb and Easy Rider, and somebody in a comment said that that's who they were, and the name is escaping me right now. I don't have access to those emails. Luckily, I know who you are, but when I logged into Challenge, which was the bracket maker that we used for that, they wanted $15 a month for me to continue to have that information, and I didn't write it down in time, so complete screw up on my end. Deb, I know how to get a hold of you. I'll send you your Tobias Hoffman code for his latest album. You'll have that. And then another record you'll be sent out to the third place winner, which was Easy Rider. Let me check in on the chat. I know I saw Mark Rutherford, so I wanted to make sure to say happy birthday first. You can all wish him happy birthday as well. Robert, Mississippi Blues, everybody being kind to Mark Rutherford today. Tony, Daniel, Steve. I watched Steve talk about his streams are really interesting because it's like it's one topic and then he just lets everybody talk and give their opinion on it. And I watched one about fretboard material, and people are really interactive with it. I thought it was really cool. So I know he streams later in the day on Thursdays. I think it's 3 hours from right now. So if you want to watch, I don't know what he's going to be talking about today, but go check out Steve's channel. And yeah, no, hitting a like button does help out, although at the end of the day, what does all of it really matter in the end? Rapidly approaching that part of it. So getting into the fun, I'm sure you've all seen the Starcasters. I want to start there because I feel like it's a missed opportunity, and it's a really neglected model. That and the Coronado are very neglected models that I feel Fender really, especially now that so many guitars are being built in Indonesia and so many guitar brands are being made by the same people in the same factories. Why don't they do more with those? The Tom DeLonge comes out. The colors are cool, classic pastels. The specs or whatever, but the fact that you're only offering a Starcaster outside of the classic vibe line in this guitar, it's got one pickup and one volume. And the pickup in it is not going to work for everybody. I'm really hoping what Fender decided to do here are to use this template now to add the Starcaster to the line. And just make them kind of old school. Give people options outside of just the classic vibes. And then eventually maybe do the same thing with the Coronado. What do you guys think about the Starcasters in general? Excuse me there, burped a little bit. And what do you think about the Tom DeLonge? Are any of you going to buy that? Did any of you expect me to buy that? Because I did not. We're talking about how you learn guitar. I read that really quick, and I was going to say, have you learned guitar? And I was just like, I think that's almost a more valid question to ask. Modern player Starcaster. Yeah, they used to make them just like they used to make the modern player Coronados. Those were made in China. And they had some cool guitars around that time, Fender did. They had the modern player Mustangs, modern player Jaguars, although those are strange Jaguars. 2 P90 pickups and a stop tail. Definitely awkward. But the Mustangs had the traditional dynamic vibrato and 2 P90s in those. A little bit different. Yeah, it's cool. There's nothing wrong with the classic vibes. Just more variety, the better with that stuff, I feel. Why not? Why not? What do I know? I'm stupid. Hey, Greg, how you doing? Yours was on the 9th. Yeah, April, your spring babies, that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. But I don't know. I feel like with Epiphone especially, like crushing it with their 335s. And now they have them like all over the price ranges and all sorts of different specs. Fender have never been known for those sorts of guitars, and I don't expect them to reinvent themselves to be semi-hollow guitar makers. But at the same time, I think them being able to provide options outside of Gretsch, which are really their own like niche of thing, I think it would be a positive for the company. Then obviously they have the templates. They can do it. Why not? Profit margin on the Indonesian guitars is comical as it is. Just sell a few of them. It'll be good. Okay, believe it or not, I might have had something to do with the Starcasters and Coronados being reissued in 2013. Well, I'd love to hear about that. I'd love to hear about that. I get fascinated with stories of yonder. You like the wide range pickups? Good clarity. Love the Starcaster. The wide ranges are very hit or miss with people. In the right guitars, I think they sound awesome. Strangely enough, I immensely dislike them in Telecasters. It's just not a sound I really like. But it is what it is. And looking at the offsets now, there was a Fender Japan special run that had the wide range humbuckers in them, which was pretty cool. They came in black with block inlays, and those pickups and the traditional Jazzmaster vibrato from Fender Japan. Could we get something cool like that here? Of course not, but there are places that do recognize that those pickups do work in guitars outside of Tellys. They're just not places in America. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. Hi, Stan. Always great to have you in here. Always great indeed. But offset talk. So I'm flying today, and the reason I'm flying today, I actually have such little sleep that I have a ton of energy, if that makes a lot of sense to you. So I'm riding it out. I just got a package from StewMac because I needed tools for a certain job, and now I can do it, and I'm really excited about that. And I wanted to I didn't know at the time when I had ordered these that Fretalizer also have stuff from it, and now I'm kind of kicking myself in the butt. But yeah, had a good talk with him, by the way. Tim, the guy from Fretalizer, he's over in Germany. He's awesome. He's awesome, and he's somebody that how can I say this? I know Deb and Bradford would get along great with, in particular. Did not expect the conversation to go on as long and as deep as it did, but man, really cool guy. So all the more reason I want to keep supporting his company. That's awesome. All right, cool. Yeah, anyways, so the offset guitars. The thumbnail of today's video was the JV Jazzmaster with the stock pickups back in it. I told you all I was going to sell it, and some of you didn't believe me, and you said I was crazy, and there was no reason that I would want to sell it. And you'd be partially right, because the JV Jazzmaster is, I hate the word rare. I even put this in the listing that I can't stand when sellers write rare in the titles, because 99.9% of the time it's not actually a rare guitar. It's just crap to get people to click it. Those are, I don't think that there's 25 of them, if I had to just ballpark the number. In custom colors. Maybe there's a few more in the three-tone sunburst, but in custom colors, I don't think there's more than 25. And it is a great playing guitar. There's no fretwear on it. It doesn't need any work. Doesn't need anything. It's great as it is, but I don't need it, and I wouldn't want to gig with a guitar like that because I could never replace it. So it just was going to live in this little room, and then when we move into that next little room, and I thought it was a waste, so I put it for sale. I also put the Sonic Blue Japanese Jaguar for sale, and it's definitively up this time. Because why else did you guys think I bought a Classic Vibe? Why else do you think I did? For fun? No. I did the plan that I told you I was going to do. After filming the video, within 24 hours, the neck from the new Classic Vibe was on the pink Classic Vibe. The electronics from the new Classic Vibe were in the pink Classic Vibe. And that was that. So the blue one now has the American original neck, set of Lawler Fralin pickup. Oh my God, Lawler Fralin. Lindy Fralin pickups. It's got the stay trem, and it's got all CTS components with an American vintage reissue vibrato on it. And let me tell you something. It's awesome, and it is the lightest Jaguar I've ever had. I think it finished out 7 pounds, 12 ounces, something around that. And for a Jaguar, especially with the American hardware on it, it's pretty damn light. So I'm a very happy camper, and that's what we're going to be using. The pink one, when it's staying in here until we move, I'm going to get another one of these free standing stands and get it for my kids' room, and Sally's going to live in there, the pink Jaguar, never to be seen again on this channel. And that's it. So it's all kind of worked out. And so what that allows me to do is having all those parts, not having to spend any money on the parts. I spent almost nothing on the Classic Vibe. Allows me to sell the other Jaguar to get even more money. Then the JV Jazzmaster and the other white Telecaster is still for sale. The Friedman is still for sale, although the amps are going to be a pain in the butt to sell because I don't want to ship that. And I'm debating. My wife really wants me to keep that Telecaster, the one from the video the other day, the Ocean Turquoise Hybrid Telecaster. She adores that color. And it reminds us of the first couch we ever had when we were married. It's the exact same color as the pillows were on it. It's the little things, dude. And my wife is always about just like make as much money as you can, sell whatever you want. Like, I don't care. Just don't sell the gold Jazzmaster. When she saw that one, she's just like, I love that guitar. And I was like, I never get that reaction from you. So we'll see. Maybe that one will go up for sale. Maybe it won't. But yeah, I don't need all this stuff. And it's all listed and it feels good. It feels really good to just list things. And part of me is even debating selling the 335, not because I don't love it, but because it's more money. And to be honest with you, the super thin line is a more comfortable guitar to play to me than the 335. Not that the 335 is uncomfortable. I just prefer the Tele shape, smaller body. Very different sounds, but it still gets me in the ballpark, and it's something different. And who knows? We'll see where things go. We'll have to go from there. Let me catch up on some comments. You stayed up all night, too. Going through gear for a great gear purge. Oh, so you're doing what I'm doing. Going to take everything to a local mom and pop and get a Murphy Lab or a custom shop, probably. Have fun with that. And I mean that very sincerely. Like, even the Guitar Center thing, it's such a simple trick. You talked about it because you knew it too. When you go in the Guitar Center, you always bring something really cheap with you to trade in. It doesn't matter what it is. Like a pedal really is the ideal thing. They give you whatever. Sometimes you get way more than what you would get for the cheap pedal, even if it's a $10 or $20 one, than you would selling it on Reverb, and then after the shipping and the fees. So you just offload it, and you get additional money off of any purchase. So I walked out with that Classic Vibe for next to nothing. Just trading in stuff I didn't need that were pedals that would have been a bigger pain in the butt, and I would have made less after, again, all the fees and the shipping. So I made out really well. It's a fun thing to do. I did play some guitars. I did want to talk about this. I didn't put this in the thumbnail. When I was at Guitar Center, I played a bunch of guitars. I played the new SE CE24. Let me tell you something about that guitar. Do you know what that guitar felt exactly like? It felt like the Harley Benton TE 52 or 62. Now, you might take that and think I'm insulting the guitar. I'm not, because I actually like the neck on that TE62. But with that being said, the TE62 is like $130. And there was like nothing. Like it immediately reminded me of it. It felt just like it. The hardware felt like most SE hardware does. Adequate, but not great. The pickups were, the less said, the better. And yeah, I think it's good that they're offering that for $500. But at the end of the day, the Harley Benton Fusions are much, much, much better guitars. And you get those with 24 frets too for less. And stainless steel frets. So that's fun. But yeah, no, and I tried the new Gretsch. Actually, I don't know how new it is, but it's one of the solid bodies with P90s. It was an amethyst, and it had a Bigsby on it. It was really body heavy. The neck was really thin. But I'll tell you this. Through a Princeton amp, which is fortunate they had a Princeton amp, because normally it's not always what they have at this Guitar Center. The pickup sounded great. I thought the guitar sounded really good. And it was on sale for, I want to say $7.99, something like that. $6.99, $7.99. I actually thought it was pretty good. Unfortunate that those don't even come with a gig bag, but not bad. And I did try one of the block inlay ES335s, yeah. And it felt just like the one I have. A little bit lighter, but that's a compliment. This is great. It felt really good. Very pretty. I love block inlays on Gibson semi-hollow body guitars. The dots just, they don't have the same kind of vibes. Alrighty. I can't believe how much people want for them on Reverb compared to just being patient for them to order from the website. Which ones? Oh, the Stay Trem? Oh, God, yeah. I love the Stay Trem. The problem is getting the Stay Trem. On Reverb, a used one is like $300. It's crazy. You're better off just, now that he's shipping again to the United States, just wait. You're going to live. You did the right thing. It's wild. It's even more expensive than Mastery, because Mastery's used sell for the same price as new. It doesn't matter how abused it is, although it's stainless steel. They're not going to be like relic or anything like that. But yeah, they retain their value extremely well. Stay Trems even more so. They like appreciate in value. You can like turn a profit if you order Stay Trems and just resell them in America at least. Okay. Adrian, hi. A Japanese hybrid one versus a discounted Corey Wong. Who wins? Oh, man. Do you want a thinner neck or a thicker neck? I like the pickups better in the Corey Wong. You're also comparing one other thing, though. You're comparing a 6-point bridge versus a 2-point bridge. Because the hybrid one strats come with a 2-point bridge. If you're somebody who's cool with the 6-point, which I am, and which you're going to see tomorrow, I talk about how much I love the Callahan bridge and do an installation on it. And I apologize. People ask me to do videos, and sometimes it takes me a while to get there. But somebody did ask for some setup tips on the Strat, on the Corey Wong Strat. And I finally filmed the talking part yesterday. So that video is all done. And that'll be for tomorrow. I don't think you could pick a winner or a loser between the Corey Wong and the hybrid one. But I will say this. The Corey Wong over the long term, that's a really good price for an American-made guitar like that. That's a limited edition. The neck's going to be bigger on the hybrid ones. Can't go wrong either way. I can't pick. You just sold your Harley Benton CST 24 semi-hollow last night, the hollow body clone. Yeah, I believe that. I know you were selling another. Didn't you sell another Harley Benton recently too? Or was that video I was just catching up on? It was a T style, very flamey. See, I do pay attention to some people on this platform, and I do have some memories. Just the exact details of things, sometimes they get lost on me because I have, parent brain. Tried to get away from, stay away from the Guitar-thon, but that didn't happen. You bought the limited edition Epi Les Paul custom at P90. Should be there tomorrow. Awesome. That's cool, man. I'm happy to hear it. I know you love those guitars, and it's great for you because it's not crushing your wallet. And I'm really excited to see what you get for your big purchase. Do you have it narrowed down to like a specific body style? Or are you just like, whatever feels good? Because playing in person, man, makes a big difference. Makes a big difference. You like trading in Tony. It's easy, and instead of paying the Ontario 13% sales tax on the new purchase, I only pay sales tax on the difference in my own cost. Let me tell you something. One of the biggest scams on this planet is the ability to tax something that's already been taxed. I hate that. That drives me freaking bonkers. If I buy a brand new guitar, you want to charge me tax on it? I understand. Whether or not I approve of how you spend that money, that's a whole different discussion. But I get it. I get it. Once that guitar's already been taxed once, you tax me for it again. I'm not cool with that. I think that's stupid. Then again, this could all be very easily changed if the tax money was used to benefit the citizens of the country that was doing the taxing. But I digress. I try not to talk politics. I went ahead and ordered an Epi 355 from Sweetwater. Got in touch with my sales reps and got a good deal. Excited for it. Yeah, I got a funny story about Sweetwater and my sales rep and other funny things like that. He actually sent me a text message and he said, "Hey, Jim, thanks for sending this person, I won't name their name, our way. We really appreciate it." Now, I have an affiliate link with Sweetwater, right? Now, these guys know that I sent them there. The guy didn't know how to use the links, so he called, and he made it sure that I would get the credit. You know how much I get out of that when people do that? Nothing. And even though Sweetwater, they know that I'm the reason for it, and I'm the reason that the guy called in and wanted to buy it, they don't care because the link wasn't used, so they don't have to pay me out my shekels. I'm not cut out for the affiliate stuff, I don't think. I don't make any money on this. But I did find that really funny. I was like, really? I'm like, you guys know that, and you won't even give me the little credit for that? Come on. You have a stay trem on the bass 6. Ooh, man. The bass 6 needs a serious bridge on it. So that's a good call. 6 months is a long time, though. Normally it is about a month or two at this point. During the busy season, when things went crazy and the world shut down, it was forget about it. Yeah, it would take a lot longer, but now it's not so bad. You sold the Fusion T a while back. Fusion 2 is going next. We getting rid of all the Harley Bentons? You going to write them another open letter about it? Or post another open letter about it? Since you love offsets, have you had any experience with the Novos? I haven't played any Novos in person. And I don't really have a desire to, if I'm just being honest with you. I'm sure that they're great playing guitars. But to me, that gigantic horn on the bass side of the guitar, it's huge. It just looks wrong to me. It just looks wrong to me. It doesn't look like it would be very comfortable. However, with that being said, again, I'm sure, obviously they make great stuff because they have a huge cult following. That doesn't just happen and maintain unless you have good quality product. And I've never actually sat to play with one. But aesthetically, for how much money they want, I really believe, like, if you're going to spend $3,000 to $5,000 on an instrument, you kind of have to like everything about it. And that includes, how the guitar looks. So for me, different strokes for different folks. You can't wait for yours. Oh, yeah, you should get that pretty soon then, Matt. That's awesome. Okay, Greg is looking at, for his custom shop purchase, a 58 335. Custom shop Strat or Telly right now. Why the 58 335? If you don't mind me asking. I'm partial to a different one. Is it the shape of the ears? You like the Mickey Mouse shape? I don't like the Mickey Mouse shape as much. Awesome. But, yeah, and the only thing I would caution you with, the Gibson will hold its value infinitely more. Not that it really matters to you. I know it doesn't, but you buy a new Fender Custom Shop Telly or a Fender Custom Shop Strat especially, the value is just, the second you walk out the door with it, it's gone. It's done. It's worth significantly less. You agreed. Epi 335 figured that I had installed with burst buckers is great. No, that's great. And I remember that when we were talking about these and they first released, a lot of you guys thought that they were awesome. And I think they're cool too. And I would still love to have the opportunity to play their 1959 Epiphone extensively back to back with the R9. That'd be a fun video. But I ain't spending $1,300 to make a YouTube video for you guys. I love you guys. But I'm not in the business of doing that. That's poor financial decisions. Awesome. Cool. And yeah, thinning the herd. That was the other thing. Because the space we're moving into, we're still going to have a music room. Things are going to look really different. And honestly, I'm not so sure how much I'm going to be able to get done for about 3.5 weeks. Because a week before we move, obviously we got to pack up. It's also my kid's birthday, my kid's graduation. You know, kids have graduations from every year of school nowadays. It didn't used to be like that. Regardless, we got that. We got family coming in. We got party to plan. Then we got to pack everything up. Then we got to move. Then we clean up this house as best we can. Then we got to get settled. So I'm not sure how much we're going to have here towards the middle of May. Oh my God, that's a month away. Up until the first week or two of June. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I don't know how set up I want to get up out there because it's going to be a feeler. This may not be permanent. I'm going into it assuming it's not going to be permanent. And who knows where we go from there. Although, I did show... Where was it? I did show my kid yesterday. Keiotama Station. It's a train station in Tokyo. And it's all Hello Kitty. And it's clean. And I was like, can you believe this? I'm like, how great is this? She's just like, oh my God. She's just like, this is awesome. Hello Kitty. She's just like, and it looks so safe. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, you want to go to Japan? She's just like, yeah. I'm like, well, your grandma's not going to come visit. She's like, She loves her grandma too much. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm really thinking about it, like for real. And not getting, the timing will never be better, nor will it be worse, I suppose. So if things don't work out here, where we're moving up north in this state still, then I'm going to be very, very tempted. Very tempted. Because my other option is to go back to California. And there are a litany of reasons why I want to do that, and an even bigger litany of reasons why I don't want to do that. And the biggest reason is the aforementioned child. Not a great place to raise a kid. We catch up on some comments and get off the personal stuff, I suppose. I just wanted to prepare you guys because this week, did you notice we had 3 videos uploaded 3 days in a row? Isn't that crazy? I almost went for more, and I had more, but I had to get stuff done. But we'll have 3 videos again before the next stream, and that's how I'm going to try and do it. So 3 videos a week and a stream, and we'll be good. A la Madrid. I was happy with that result. I hate Manchester City. I hate Pep Guardiola. Congratulations, but I'm not wearing a Madrid kit. We play today. We play Roma. Don't have the highest expectations, but got to show up, got to support. And more importantly, out of yesterday's fixtures, I was the most satisfied by Arsenal going home. For a club that's never won the European trophy of any importance, they like to talk a lot. A lot. They think they're a really big club. They're not. They're tiny. They just yap. They're like my dog Ace, the little yap dog. Bedroom small gig amp. Adrian. The answer is always going to be the Gremlin for me. It's always going to be the Gremlin. I love that amp. And you guys see how often I go through gear. Whether it's buying or selling it or trying to figure out my own crap. Once I got the Gremlin, that was... Have I ever said, like... Have I ever listed that? Ever? No, I haven't. I don't know it would sell. That's a lot easier to sell than a Vox. But no, I have not. I'm completely happy with it outside of the fact it doesn't have a reverb and a tremolo. That's the only thing that I don't like about it. Everything else, it's perfect. Sounds perfect. Thanks. Appreciate that, Steve. I love that you're down with the Music Man amps, Kev. Leo later said life that he felt he had it backwards. I know. I when I made the video about the Music Man amps, I did the history of them. That was one thing I pointed out in an interview towards the end of that run. He said he should have had tubes in the preamp section and a solid state power amp section. Although, with how things have worked out with Music Man amps, I can't say that he should regret it or that it was a failure because they're still super reliable. They're tanks and they sound really good. Got a lot of compliments with how this thing sounds. And that's just with me hack jobbing my way through it. Another thing I got, so I don't have to pull the board on the actual amp itself, I got the Stumac clip so I can put it over the tone pot itself without removing it and spray the deoxit in that way. I'm going to clean out all the pots. And we'll get this thing in tippity top form because I was having a little bit of scratches. And then I'm going to re-deoxit. I'm going to pull the tubes and deoxit the tube sockets as well while I'm at it. And the input jack. The 4 input jacks because there's 2 on each channel. And that should be it. The amp should be good because it sounds great as it is. All right. Maybe you should save some videos to debut when you're moving and settling. See, Markleford, that's the thing. A reasonable person who takes this as a professional would do that. I should do that. The likelihood of me doing that is low. And honestly, with how much I upload, even now, compared to how it used to be, it's not as much. I still upload a lot more than a lot of other YouTubers that do. There's some people that they'll upload once a week, once every few weeks, or once a month. I upload more than that. But I don't know. It's weird to think of it as like a professional. Like I don't know. I don't consider what I do on this YouTube channel to be a professional YouTube channel. I just don't. I have a lot of fun with it. But I don't know. Maybe my perspective is wrong. Let me know. Arsenal going out with a whimper. Yeah, I love that. The Steve Lacy Stratocasters. I don't like gimmick guitars. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I don't like guitars that have effects built into them. The only pass I will give to guitars that have any sort of additional crap built into them with stuff like that. In the, I want to say, mid-'80s, Bernie put the Fernandez Sustainer in a few guitars. And this was made wildly popular in Japan by a guitarist named Hide, who's passed away many years ago. He was the guitar player. One of the guitar players, Pada, was a Pada. Oh my God. Yeah, Pada, I think, was the other guitarist for X Japan, with Toshi on vocals and Yoshiki, who is the real genius and the composer of everything, playing the drums. If you ever want to see something wild, look up X Japan live, and click on the older ones because they had modern-ish day ones where Sugizo was playing lead guitar instead of Hide, and it's a bit different. But back in the 80s and 90s, Yoshiki had major neck and back problems, and he would play with like this huge brace, but he was just a monster. He's a monster player. So you got this guy with his shirt off and a brace like yay big on his neck, just wailing on the kit. I went on a tangent. Point is, Hide played a signature Bernie that had the sustainer built into it. That's the only effect that I approve of in a guitar. And only because that band was freaking awesome. That guitar was also yellow with hearts on it that had some words along with the hearts. Some of them you can't say on YouTube. It's a different time. It's a different time. We could win by 2 goals. Yeah, we could. We could. Anything's possible. You pro level YouTubers to me. Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You have the Sweetwater Princeton with the Cannabis Rex. Let me tell you, I played one of those recently. And that Sweetwater one with the 12-inch, it was a very bad place for me to play it because right next to it was a Silverface Princeton, a real Silverface Princeton, not a 68 mod. That's a modern repro, a real one. The modern Princeton, forget the speaker. It sounds nothing like a real Princeton. It sounds nothing like it. Does it sound bad? No. But does it sound anything like a 70 Silverface? In the room, it was comical how different it was. And it turned me off so hard on that amplifier. And I like the Cannabis Rex. I actually think the Cannabis Rex is a really good fit for the amp I have. And also, you got to keep in mind, I gigged with a Silverface Princeton for ages. That's like that sound and the Music Man sound are like the 2 amp sounds that I have like ingrained in my head more than any other amp, just because of just sheer time that I've spent with those 2. So hearing like how different it was, I was just like, I think if I wanted to play with gain, I would enjoy the modern one with the 12-inch speaker. And then the modern one, I played one of they also had the one I played through, which is the Blackface 65 reissue. And I got the same kind of vibes as the 12-inch, just obviously the speaker differences. As far as the actual chord sounds, neither compared to the Silverface. But yeah, it's just the problem with amps is the best, like, it's different than guitars. The best way to shop for an amp is the hardest way to shop for an amp, depending on where you are in the world. The best way is to bring your favorite guitar in, or the guitar that you use the most, and play them in the store. You got to play them in the store. And then you go and you make your decisions from there. Because YouTube demos with amps, it's tough. It's tough. There's so much you have to consider. How did the person mic it? What was their signal change? Did they have any idea how to mic it? Was it going into a preamp? Was there anything done in the post? Was there anything done in Final Cut once the audio was rendered and bounced out of Pro Tools, Logic, or whatever DAW it was recorded into? And maybe a little bit of leveling on top of that. Was there anything that was going to color the sound? Which microphones did they use? There's a lot that goes into that. The best way for amplifiers is to take your guitar and try and play it. That'll be fun for you to do, Greg. Why don't you buy a new rig? Trade in all your stuff that you don't want. I'm not saying trade in your Princeton, but what I'm saying is go in, totally blank slate, find the guitar you really like, and then when you're done finding the guitar you really like, you find an amp that matches it, and you go home with a whole new rig. That'd be a fun video. If I wasn't moving and trying to make other big power plays here, that'd be something fun to do. I'd drive over to Jimmy's and do that. The creamback in a Princeton? Woo. That's a weird one. That's a weird one. You're definitely making a more versatile amp. You're just losing a lot of the Fenderish kind of tone out of it. Here in Spain, the Marshall JTM is way... Oh, yeah. Dude, the Marshalls are like half price in Europe compared to here. It is what it is. We could thank our Roland overlords for that, or whoever it is that's in charge of distribution. Wait, how come no one ever made a semi-hollow thin-line Jazzmaster? They have. Fender Japan. 2012. MJHO. They also made thin-line Jaguars and thin-line Mustangs in that run of guitars. Outside of that, there is a company called Momose. in Nagano, Japan, they still to this day make thin line Jazzmaster style instruments. True stories. True stories. Check them out. Would you allow me to assemble a Jazzmaster parts caster with Paulina wood? So here's the thing. I'm not against Paulina wood. I'm really not. With Telecasters or anything that doesn't require a vibrato, I wouldn't feel confident with myself doing it unless like I was getting, and this is the thing, I don't know enough about sourcing wood to be able to grade it correctly, like the highest quality of Paulina wood, because it's just so soft, and you got to think like the hardware on that. If you ever got to remove stuff like that wood, I don't know how well it's going to hold up, and with vibrato usage on it and that much stress going into the wood and just all the friction and vibrations, I just don't know how well it would hold up. The positives to Paulina wood are very obvious, especially in the case of a guitar like a Jaguar or a Jazzmaster. You're going to reduce the weight a ton. Believe me, that's very appealing. It's very appealing. But there are things that you have to keep in mind that I just mentioned with it. You want to do it, and it's only going to cost you a few bucks. You screw around with it. Be my guest. I'm never going to tell you not to do something. But with those guitars, it's not something I think I would venture into. I'm about to sell my 65 reissue. It's been great, but looking to upgrade. Jay Sauce, you talk about the one with the 12? Or a different FSR? Because they've made so many FSRs. I don't think any of them are bad. I don't. As far as the sounds go, I think Fender intentionally make the boards so they're going to fry out a little bit easier to cut corners. But I don't think any of them sound bad. It's all about different tastes. Have you ever seen Miyavi actually play guitar and perform? That's somebody else you guys should look up. He has a custom Telecaster that is very unique. Very unique. It's got 3 pickups in it. It's got like a Vega Trem kind of thing going on. And it does have a sustainer and some other crazy stuff. That guy can play, man. And that guy puts on a show. He even made the Acoustasonic look cool. That's how that's how cool that guy is. He made the Acoustasonic look really cool. That's a tall order, dude. That's a tall order. You could be a top Chad to be able to pull that off. Fender Mustang question. How high do you set up the cigar? Are the strings only supposed to contact the saddles, or do they also have to contact the back of the bridge? Okay, here we go. What gauge string are you using? What's your first question? How much are you using the bar on the dynamic vibrato? Are you using it subtly? Are you using it extensively, or do you plan to use it extensively? Those two things are going to make a big difference. What I find is I'm somebody that likes to use the vibrato a lot. So I prefer to have more tension. To create more tension, I have the bar further down to create more of a break angle off of the bridge. I leave enough clearance so that I don't have any problems stringing the guitar correctly with if the tube, which is really the cigar bar, and I'm laughing because I have a box of a tube right here. If the tube is here and the pickups are here and then the tube is here, the cigar bar, your pickup, and then your neck, right? When you're stringing a guitar, you put the ball end through here, and then it goes underneath the tube that way. As long as I have more than enough clearance to do that, I like to get it as low as I can without that being a problem. And then I move the actual springs on the assembly itself, which you really should only do this with the strings off of the guitar in between setups. But I move them to the post closest to the body. Is that right? No, the other direction. I'm tired. I move them closest towards the top of the actual screw itself, the furthest thread that you're allowed to do. Well, not that you're allowed to, that you can actually do. That's an option on the vibrato system. And then I will do the trick I just said with the cigar. Just make sure the cigar bar is not touching the actual plate itself. And also just common sense thing, but sometimes it's hard to remember to tighten it up enough. The arm, if you are going to use the arm, do not let it ever touch the plate. You're just asking for stability problems. Second part of your question, are the strings supposed to contact the saddles, or do they also have to contact the back of the bridge? They do not have to. They do not have to. And there goes my neighbor's dog. You'd be fine with it either way. As long as it has a traditional Mustang-style bridge, you'll be good. Cigar bar a little bit lower, you're all right. You've spent way too much money to do a whole rig, and a new amp wouldn't be of much use. Oh, man, I was just on the phone with Mr. Rex Anderson, and I just kept singing the praises of the Bose S1. I know, Mr. Tube Amp, obsessed person, me. I genuinely, I use that thing every day. I love it. I love that thing to death. It covers so many bases for me. It sounds fantastic. It's light. It's little. You pick it up with one hand. Everything I need to charge the wireless things are built into the unit itself. It sounds great. Takes modelers well. I'm very, 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 very happy with it. Yeah, Mark Clifford, you're right. That's a great emote. That's a great emote. Here, I'll give you guys something to emote over. If you got about 6 guitars and some pedals on the trading block, so an amp along with a great guitar would be way too much. And right now, I bought 3 guitars in the last month. You know, why don't you return the other 3 guitars then? Return the other 3 guitars and do it. Do it. Take some cell phone footage, and that would be hilarious. And I'll commentate it like how you ever watch those old National Geographic videos where it's all the footage, and then you just have the guy commentating. You're trying to like get in the head of the animal. Like, what's it thinking? Is it hunting for this one, or is it the prey animal? It's trying to get away. Where is it going? I'll just commentate over your footage. That would actually be really funny. 12-inch from Guitar Center, the G1265. Bordeaux finish with the kind of creamy tan mesh grill. I actually like that speaker in the deluxe reverb. I think it's a better fit for the deluxe reverb. Before you sell the amp, try some other speakers. Try a proper Jensen. Give it a shot. C12Q if you want to go real old school. You finally got a good American CE in Purple Burst so far. After a lifetime of Fenders, it's a breath of fresh air. Still like my Strat and Jag, of course. I was partial to the CE in Purple Burst as well. I thought it looked amazing. I'm happy that you love it, and I still always stand by this. If you're somebody that plays a Fender guitar but you can't get along with Gibsons, but you want something that's a little bit bigger sounding, could do a little bit more gain, the CE24 is the best of the bunch. It's the easiest transition. Unless you play baseball bat Fenders, in which case you will hate the CE24, the modern ones, because they got the baby pattern thins. And I made the mistake of trying to gig with that with a rounded C Gibson guitar. I played the Gibson first, and that was the end of the CE24, the American one. Well, I'm happy to have helped. And I'm happy you found something you love, man. And Jags, purple guitars. I'd love a purple guitar. I don't consider that 335 purple. I feel like I missed one comment here. Oh, what was that sound? Oh, yeah, that's Markleford. Oh, do you guys want a shirt with a dolphin on it, by the way? I'm going in. I just told you, Markleford got sent a gift card so that he could buy stuff from the store. And Deb's getting a record, and so is, oh my God, Easy Rider 23. He's getting a record too. However, I was looking in the store and I was just like, you know what, we're moving. I was waiting. My wife broke her iPad that she does all of her design on because she's a klutz, and that's not me insulting her. She'd be the first to tell you. She'd probably call herself worse names, but this is YouTube. I'm trying to keep this family friendly here. Yeah, she was trying to watch something on the iPad that did not have a protective case on it while in the shower. The iPad didn't survive. Why is this important? This is important because it's what she used to do all the design work for the t-shirts. So I decided I'm going to start making some designs. And with my level of art expertise, you know what that got me to? Word slogans. Because we have a lot of funny words we say and sayings that we repeat on this channel that we have for quite some time. If there's anything that you think would make a funny t-shirt, there's one involving the Gibson SG. It doesn't say the Gibson SG because I'm not suicidal, and I know Gibson would sue me if I tried to sell merchandise that said Gibson SG on it. But it mentions that guitar. If there's anything else interesting you'd like to see or any ideas, let me know, because I'm going to design some very basic cheesy stuff, and some of it will even apply to things that aren't related to the guitar, and people that aren't guitar players might even laugh. It's called a dolphin because for whatever reason, this one just makes that noise. Since Jazzmaster pickups are flat, do I prefer or do I think a flatter radius would make a significant difference? No. You got to remember one thing about this, right? With the staggered pole pieces, the reason why the G initially was raised up, it wasn't always wound. So it was made to compensate for that on the older guitars that didn't have those strings on them. Nowadays, I don't think it matters. I really don't. Getting a balanced sound. I also think it helps the Jazzmaster when they're flatter, in my personal opinion. That guitar in specific, because it's already fighting against itself in its core design, because the pickups are these really kind of like mellow wound, like really in theory they're really mellow because they're wide bobbins, they're low, but then the actual circuitry to make up for it, they're 1 meg pots compared to 250Ks that come in a Strat, so it's letting a lot more of the high end through. Adding the pole piece factor into it, it's another piece that you could experiment with, but I don't think it's anything that would make a significant difference. Looks like just the Sweetwater version. Sounds great. You tried the Jensen Bordeaux. Sounded terrible with gain. I believe that. Random question. Have you ever tried the Fender Mustang JMJ bass? I've never tried a JMJ bass, but I've had this for years. This is just a regular old... It's still in tune. Kind of. I'm not even going to attempt to actually play bass. But no, this is a Fender Mexico Mustang bass from 2016. When they were still using rosewood. They hadn't switched to Pal Ferris at that point. And it's really light. It sounds really good. Just lost one of the tone control knobs. It's going to have to be replaced. Unfortunate. And it needs to be intonated. But I love Mustang basses. That was all I was trying to show by example there. I'm strange and awkward. Cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We didn't have Deb today. We didn't have Bradford today. The two people I needed to come in here. No comment, though. Happy all of you showed up. But I'm going to get running so I can make sure all my stuff is uploaded into the computer itself so that I can edit it. I'm going to try and edit it right now. So I'm just done with it. So you're going to see all about the Callahan Bridge tomorrow. And then we're going to get into some geeky stuff, kind of, with pickups, not Jazzmaster pickups, not this time. Not Telecaster pickups, not this time. No, not Filtertron pickups yet. It's all about the Strat. We're going to be comparing a stacked single coil pickup versus a traditional, more higher output single coil pickup in the same Stratocaster. Testing it out in position 2, which is the middle and the bridge, as well as just the bridge straight up, and seeing how big of a difference it makes. And if it's something you like or you dislike, because you're not going to see which one is which. You're just going to have to use your ears and come to your own conclusions. And that's how we're going to be doing a lot of these comparisons that we have lined up lately. Jaguar will be after that. We're going to compare the stock Classic Vibe pickups against, I almost said it again, the Lindy Fralins that I've had forever. And seeing if you can tell the difference between the two of those. And I'm not going to tell you. It's just going to be guitar A and guitar B. You're going to have to actually think. Come to your own conclusions. But that's it for today. We'll be seeing you. Thank you. Steve, I'll try and stop in if my kid wants to be good. I will say hi on your stream later today. And again, he will be streaming at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, whatever that translates to your time zone. I don't know what the word is for somebody that keeps track of time. I'm not that, though. But go check them out. They're going to be talking about how they learned how to play guitar. I remember that correctly. I will answer this real quick. Jazzmaster pickups, Lawler Black Bobbin or Lawler 63s. You cannot forget the Lindy Fralin stocks. You cannot forget the Lindy Fralin stocks. 63s if you want to use a little bit more game. Black Bobbins for cleanerish. I feel they're a little bit better clean. From what I've heard. And then it's just like that stupid contest I did over the course of 4 weeks. I can't go against the Fralin Jazzmaster pickups. They're perfect in that guitar. I love them for cleans. They're just to die for that. Consider all three. I'm not picking a winner. Even though I might have. Sorry. Bye.